Yeah, hi. Hi all. This is Manish from Hyse Placement Service Private Limited and Hyse Digital Academy. So we have started our organization on 2015. From last 7 years successfully, we are going ahead with the placements. And in 2019, we have started Hyse Digital Academy, where we are training on different IT domains like Salesforce, AWS plus DevOps, data science with the base of Python, AI and ML, and testing Java, Core Java, SQL plus Spring Boot, digital marketing plus WordPress, and React.js, Node.js, AngularJS. Plus, we have in it 30 plus IT domains where we are training. So actually, this is 3 months training program where we are charging 20,000 rupees for this for 3 months program. Training, internship, working on live project, certification, and job assistance. All together, we are providing it only for 20,000. We are associated with 750 plus companies all over the world where we are hiring freshers, and we have 20,000 plus requirements. So actually, according to our clients requirement, we are training the students and we are placing them. We have successfully completed our 5 batches and this is our 6th batch. We have done more than 3,000 students trained on our last 5 batches. So I introduce Mr. Professional Trainer AWS for AWS and DevOps, Mr. Vinay, to take up the demo section.
Yeah, thanks, Manish.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Hi guys. Myself Vinay. Currently, I'm working in one of the product-based company as a technical lead. So I have total having 11 plus years of experience in the IT domain. So whereas my core skills comes to, I started my career as a Java engineer, and again I move on. And right now, from the last 6 years, I have been working on AWS and the DevOps technologies. So as part of this course, so we are going to cover AWS, Linux, and DevOps. Okay. So this is a 3 months course, and as part of this course, we will be covering 2 live projects and whatever the require on-demand tools that are available in the market. So those tools we are going to discuss in detail in daily sessions. Okay. So before going to start our session, so let me tell you about what is required and what kind of things we are going to discuss, that we will discuss in today's demo class. Okay. Yeah. Okay, guys. So before going to start the session, so you guys may have some doubts like, so who are the target audience to learn the DevOps course? So different people will be coming from different backgrounds, like few are from technical background and few are from non-technical background and few are from BTech and few are from degree, few are from BSc and MBA. So to clarify all your questions, so it's better to know some things. So first one. So in the today's market, so no DevOps, it is literally impossible to survive in the IT industry. So because technology is evolving day by day, so every company is adopting new methodologies and new technologies. So in order to work on those kind of technologies, it is very much required and mandatory to learn DevOps. Okay, it includes freshers as well as for experienced associates as well. Okay, so no DevOps. And if you observe in the colleges, so they have started including AWS and DevOps as part of their educational curriculum. So earlier they used to teach only programming languages like C, Java, and .NET. So, but nowadays they are also updating their curriculum so based on the industry needs. So in most of the colleges, which whatever the universities that are deemed universities, they have already started adding this AWS and DevOps as their subject in the academic years. Okay, so it is very much important to learn the freshers so that they can easily understand what exactly happening in the companies. Okay, so even before joining into any company, if they are well versed with the AWS and DevOps tools, they will take an edge when compared to others who are not familiar with these technologies. So it is very much helpful to the freshers, especially rather than compared to experienced guys. Anyway, experienced guys, as part of their project, they will learn today or tomorrow. That is mandatory. So because if they don't learn, they will not survive. So that it is much obvious that they have to learn that. But when it comes to freshers, so in the earlier, if they are good with one or two programming language, they can easily crack the interview and they can get job. They can get the job. But now the situation is totally different. Why? Because so once a fresher is hired, so the companies don't have that much time to train the freshers on the required things. Rather than doing those aspects, what the companies are doing is they are tying it with some consultancies or some training institutes, and they are hiring the guys who are already known about those technologies. Why? Because it will save a lot of time. So they no need to train again those freshers on the same technologies. Okay. So rather than taking one raw material and making it as per our design, so it is better to go with a ready-made project. Right. So and in order to learn DevOps, no need of any prior IT knowledge base. Okay. So anyone can learn DevOps. So in order to learn DevOps, there is no prerequisite like particularly have this much amount of knowledge and this much amount of knowledge. The only thing required is so one should know what is computer and how to operate with the computer. And the second thing is common sense. So these two are the main important things to learn any technology. When it comes to DevOps, these two things are required. And the remaining things will be trained as part of this course. Okay. And there is a misconception like so if you want to learn DevOps, we must have the knowledge of Linux. No Linux is required. No Linux is required. Linux is part of this course only. As part of AWS and DevOps only, you will learn the Linux. So as part of this course, you will learn Linux. Okay. Yeah. Why? Because so there are Linux engineers and Linux administrators. So different job roles are available, guys. Okay. So Linux developers will do some kind of job and Linux administrators will do some kind of job. Okay. Those are the specialized categories. So as part of DevOps engineers, you might not be master of Linux. Whatever amount of knowledge is required to work with DevOps tools, whatever amount of Linux knowledge is required to work with DevOps tools, that much amount of knowledge will be discussed. And by the end of this course, you can say you have good amount of experienced knowledge in Linux systems and you can do whatever you want. Okay. So we are not going to discuss in detail about whatever the Linux administrator is having. That much knowledge is not required in order to work with the DevOps tools. Why? Because in order to learn and launch the tools that are required in DevOps, we have to have some prior knowledge on Linux. So whenever we are discussing about those tools, how much amount of Linux knowledge is required, that I will give you. With that knowledge only, you can happily work on the DevOps tools. So no need to worry who are not familiar with Linux. That will be taken care in the course. Okay? Yeah. And one more thing. No need of learning any programming, guys. Okay? Two people are very allergic to learn some kind of programming. So they might have that kind of fear. They feel like they are not comfortable with coding related stuff. So in order to learn DevOps, you no need to have any coding knowledge. Zero coding knowledge is required. Okay, because as a DevOps engineer, as a AWS cloud solution architect, You are not going to write any code. You are not going to build any product. You are not going to develop any application. Okay. It is the responsibility of developers. A group of developers will work together and they will develop the product. That means they will write the code as part of the development tasks. Okay. That is the job of developers. Okay. But here you are a DevOps engineer. So as a DevOps engineer, you are not going to write any code which is related to application and all. Okay. So you no need to learn Java, you no need to learn Python, you no need to learn any other programming language. Okay. So you might have heard like we need to learn some kind of scripting kind of thing. That is true. Okay. So as part of DevOps engineer, we want to automate some tasks that are manually doing by the developers or testers. In order to automate those tasks, we need to learn some shell scripting. There are different type of that shell scripting. That automation can be done with the help of Python, with the help of shell scripting, and with the help of YAML also. Okay, and that is very very easy, guys. So that scripting is nothing but if someone is speaking to someone within an English language, the scripting is also same like that, guys. Okay, the syntax and everything will be very dead easy. It is a kind of a formal language only. Okay, and that too, you are not going to write thousands of lines of code. Okay, this is very minimal lines of code you are going to write, and that too in basic English only. Okay, so that part we will cover in the course only. That scripting part, in order to automate the task, in order to automate the jobs, whatever the scripting is required, that will be covered in the training sessions only. Okay, so in order to attend my class, the AWS and DevOps classes, okay, you no need to have any prior coding skills. Everything will be learned, everything will be taught from the scratch. Okay, yeah. Uh, okay, so and anyone can learn this DevOps course, guys. So if you are a fresher, it is very much advised to learn DevOps. Why? Because if you can go to any job portal, guys. You can go to LinkedIn, Naukri, Master Jobs, Indeed, wherever, whatever the site you open, and you just type DevOps, and you can type whatever the keyword, whatever the other technology keywords, you can type that. So you will see thousands of jobs on DevOps and AWS, guys. Okay. Yeah. So not only in India, even in the abroad also, there are more number of jobs. So who are planning to move to abroad for higher studies or something like that. So it is very much important to learn this DevOps code so that you no need to spend any free time over there. So as soon as you learn in the overseas, you can directly apply for the jobs and you can get it, because these are the niche skills and the skilled people are not available all over the world, especially when it comes to US and UK, Canada. So these are very hard skills, and the kind of salary they are paying to the DevOps engineers is far higher than the technical leads who are working in traditional technologies. Okay, so if you want to know the salaries in DevOps, so generally in IT, guys, so a fresher from a normal college, so not from NITs and like IITs. So if a guy is hired with 0 to 2 years of experience, so he will get, so generally how much, guys? So generally 3 to 5 lakhs of salary max. So that too from a normal college. So but if you are hired as a DevOps engineer with DevOps skills with 0 to 2 years of experience, you will easily get minimum of 6 lakhs, guys. Okay. And if you are having 2 to 3 years of experience, okay, you will happily get 8 to 12. Okay. So if you have 3 to 4 years of experience, okay, you will get 12 to 16 lakhs, guys. Okay. And 4 to 5 years, 4 to 5 years, you will get 16 to 20. And 5 to 6 years, you will get 20 plus days. Okay. So one of my friend who is having 8 years of experience, okay, and he recently joined in a company called Cisco with 37 lakhs of packages. Okay, so that much demand is there in the market. Okay, yeah. So now let me give you the just overview about how a product is developed in the company. Okay, yeah. So let's say we'll take an example of IRCTC, guys. IRCTC, before IRCTC, now we all can able to access IRCTC is a website through which we can book the tickets. So let's say before IRCTC project, so before it was not there in the existence. So what happens? So the railway minister will reach out to one of the companies and they will give this, they will give their requirement to that company. So one of the IT managers from that company will have a discussions with the IRCTC. Okay. Okay. Yeah. They will take the requirement. So once the requirement is done, so what they will do, they will hire the required developers and they will start building the project. Okay. Here, this IRCTC is called as a client. So please observe the terminology that what I am using. So whoever giving the project, that we call it as a client. Okay. And so the client location where the client is residing. So that location we call it as on-site. Okay. Yeah. So as a company, so let's say TCS or Infosys, one of the company has taken that project and they started working on it. So here, this client is called company. Whoever giving the project is called as a client, and whoever taking the project is called as a company. Okay. So once the project is taken, so they will start developing it. Okay. So what is the first step? So first they will take the requirement and they will complete the analysis and they will start the development. Okay. So that is the first step, guys. Development. So after that, once the development phase is completed, first they will take the requirement. What is the requirement of the IRCTC first of all? So they will take that requirement and they will go through a lot of brainstorming sessions and they will document it. Okay, they will create the technical specifications and they will give that to different developers and they will complete the development. I mean, the coding part is completed. Once the coding part is completed, they will that phase is called as development phase. Okay, so once the development phase is completed, so the next phase is build phase, guys. Okay, so what do you mean by build phase, guys? So build is nothing but, guys, so what they will do is they will convert the source code to executable format. That phase is called as a build phase. Okay, so if you want to install Google Chrome on your laptop, so what will happen, guys? So as soon as you type something in the Internet Explorer, you will not able to see the Google Chrome, right? You will not get the source code of Google Code. Whenever you want to install something, are you going to get the source code of it? No, you will never ever get any source code of any application. Okay, so what you will get is you will get the .exe file or some kind of package or WAR file or RAR file or zip file. So what is that? So that is something which will be having .exe files or .bat files. So if you click on that, so the source code will be triggered and that will be executed. Okay. So converting that source code into executable format is called build. Okay. So the activity name is build. So yeah. So once this is done, so development is completed and the source code is converted to the build format. So then that will be given to the testers. Okay. So what the testers will do, guys? Testers will take that code, okay, and test the functionality. Okay. So whether the developed code is working as per the client needs or not, is the GUI is proper or not, whether all the options are working properly or not. So all these things will be checked by the testing team. Okay. Testing team. So once if there are any issues are there, then that again that issues will be reported back to the development team. So again the development team will need to fix those items. Okay. Once the fixes are made and fixes are tested by the developer, again they will build. So once the build is completed, again testers will take that code and they will start working on it. So this is a cyclic process, guys. So unless until there are no errors found by the testers team, that will not be released to the client. Okay. Yeah. So once the testing is done, so no issues are found. Okay. So then it will go to QA. Okay. So here testing team, what they will do, guys? Team is the owner to check whether the specified items by the client, I mean, whatever the requirements that are taken from the client are correctly incorporated in the code or not. So that thing will be taken care by the testing team. QA means they will check the overall quality of the project, guys. Okay. So are there any tweaks or any modifications are required in the UI or UX or client experience is improved, or any GUI related things needs to be taken care. All these things will be taken care, and that part is the responsibility of QA team, quality assurance. So once the product is passed the quality assurance, then that will be given to the client. So all these things will be done at on-site, guys. Sorry, all these things will be taken care at company's location, not at client's location. Okay, so the company, whoever taken that project, that company will perform all these steps. Once all these steps are done, guys, so then what will happen? They will deploy. Okay, they will deploy that to they will once the project is ready and all the phases are completed, then they will give it to the client. So as soon as it's not a laptop or kind of thing, right? So how can I how can they give that project, they can deliver that project to the client? So whatever they have developed, so that they will deploy on client machines. Okay. So they will install on client laptop or client server kind of thing. Okay. So generally we are not supposed to use the term laptop. So because when it comes to big clients, so they will maintain the servers. Okay. So there are hundreds to thousands of servers based on the application complexity and application usage. Okay. So once this is developed, so this will be deployed on the client servers and the client machines. Okay. Yeah. Once the application is deployed on the client machines, so then we have to take care of its maintenance, right? So once there will be a window period, so we have to maintain that. So if there are any issues comes, again to whom we should report. So there is a team called maintenance team. If there are any bugs comes, any production, once it is moved to if it is deployed in the client machine and client started using, that means the product is in production. It is ready for use and already people started using it. So while using it, if anyone reports any bug, that again needs to be reported to the development team back. Again, development team will start working on it and they will take care of necessary things. And once the fixes are made, again it has to be deployed on the client machine again. So that part we call it as maintenance, guys. Maintenance, okay. You can call it as support as well. Okay. Next, monitoring, guys. So monitoring is nothing but you have to monitor the servers where your product is installed. Like how much amount of RAM is consuming. So how much amount of memory, I mean hard disk memory and is consuming, where it is taking more time to process the request. Okay. So if you, as soon as, let's say if you ever observe, so if you open IRCTC website, it will open in fraction of seconds. But when you search something, it will take some time to fetch the results. Okay. So all these things where it is taking good amount of time and where is it, where its performance is very less and where its performance is more, and are there any things, any bugs are coming, so any features are not working or not working. Okay, all these things will be taken care. So that step we call it as monitoring. Monitoring is nothing but looking, watching carefully how our application is working. Okay, yeah. So here guys, the first step is called as development guys. Just developing the code. Okay, development of code. This is development phase. This is operations phase guys. Okay, yeah. So if you observe here, guys, so this development and operations, so these two are independent tasks here. Okay. So once a developer develops the code, okay, so then only the other build part will be completed. So once the developing phase is going on, so the testers will not have any work because they don't have anything to test at that point of time. Okay. So once the developers, I mean testers are testing something, so developers will not have anything unless until they get another project. Okay. So here what will happen is each and every phase will go one after other. The first phase is taking the requirements, and the second phase is first phase is analysis, and the second phase is requirements gathering, and the third phase is developing, and the fourth phase is testing, and the fifth phase is deploying, and then maintenance, and then monitor. So all these steps go one after other. Okay. This generally we call it as, in technical terms, we call it as SDLC, software development life cycle. So here there are different phases are there, and all the phases will go after other. In this one, there are different approaches are there. So this approach we call it as waterfall model. So in the waterfall model is one of the approach in SDLC, in that where at a time only one operation is going to work. So once that operation is done, then we will be moving on to the next phase. Okay. So there are some drawbacks are there if we go with this approach. So in old days, so there is no technology. I mean, the technology is not much evolved, and there are very less companies are there and less known IT people are there. So they go by this way. Okay. But nowadays there are a lot of competitors are there. Okay. So whether we are giving a product, whether we are releasing a product into the market is the secondary thing. So by the time we have an idea about the product, so some other company is already releasing that product into the market, because there is a lot of competition is there. Okay. So in order to, if we want to survive in the market, so we have to deliver the product. That is the first thing. We have to deliver a good product, and that too in very fast delivery. Fast delivery is more important, and also even more important that the quality of the product is more important. Okay. So we have to make sure that we are giving a quality product with less time. Okay. We are not supposed to compromise in any one of the factor. So that is the current situation in the market for every company. So if you go one step up after other step, then it will take a lot of time. So in order to address all these issues, so this DevOps came into the picture, guys. Okay. Here So DevOps is nothing. DevOps is not a technology, guys. DevOps is not a technology, and DevOps is not a tool. DevOps. So development. OPS stands for operations. So here DevOps is all about addressing all traditional issues and implementing complete automation in every stage of software development life cycle by using some tools. Okay. I hope you got my point, guys. So DevOps is nothing but addressing all traditional issues and implementing complete automation in every stage of software development life cycle. Okay. So by using some automation tools is called DevOps. Okay. Yeah. So here, what we will do, guys. So for development, so the DevOps engineer's work will start once the code is ready, guys. So here, developing the code is the responsibility of developers. As I said, in order to learn the DevOps, we no need to require any programming languages. We no need to learn anything because we are not the one who are going to develop the actual code which is related to the applications. Once the developers have done with their coding part, then the actual developer DevOps engineer work will come into the picture. So the developers will store their code into the, move their code to the Git, guys. Okay, Git and SVN. Okay, Git and SVN. These are nothing but repositories. Okay, version control systems. Okay, next, in order to automate the task that is involved in build, we have to will use Maven, guys. Okay, next, for testing purpose. So earlier they used to do manual testing, guys, but nowadays they are using automation testing. So in the automation testing, 95% of the companies are using only Selenium, guys. Okay. And here deploy Ansible, guys. Okay. So Ansible, or you make, there are other tools, Chef, Puppet. But Chef and Puppet are old one, guys. So nowadays everyone is using Ansible only, guys. Ansible and Docker. Okay. So Docker, and the most recent one is Kubernetes, guys. Kubernetes. So and for the monitor purpose, you can use Nagios. Okay. Nagios or CloudWatch. Okay. Yeah. So here, in order to coordinate with all these tools, okay, so we in each and every stage we will be using different tools to automate the work, that is to automate the manual work whatever they are doing. So for that purpose, for each phase we will be using the tools. So here, development, building and testing, all this is called, we are doing one of, not one after other, we will be doing it simultaneously. So that we call it as continuous integration. Okay, we no need to wait something is completed and we have to wait the notification from them, not kind of thing. Okay, so everything will be automated with the help of these tools. So that we call it as continuous integration, CI. Here, continuous development. Okay, yeah. Here, in order to coordinate with all these tools, there is one master is required, guys. So that master is nothing but Jenkins, guys. Okay, so yeah. So these are the tools we are going to learn as part of this course, guys. So let me list down here, guys. So AWS Cloud, guys. Why? Because whatever the Linux servers that are required to install our DevOps tools, okay. So nowadays everyone is deploying their product in AWS servers only. So that is the reason we have to learn AWS also. And remember, this is not a master course of AWS. In order to work with DevOps tools, we have to definitely have some knowledge on AWS. So whatever the AWS knowledge is required, so whatever the services in AWS, there are nearly 200 plus services are available. Out of those so many services, what are the required services that are required for DevOps? That we will discuss as part of this course. And other than that, you no need to learn any separate AWS course, guys. Okay? Yeah. So we are going to cover AWS Cloud and we will be discussing about Linux. Okay, and we will discuss about Git. Git or SVN, guys. Okay, SVN is outdated. So nowadays everyone is using Git only. This is version control tool. This is a code repository. Okay, and we'll discuss about web server. Okay, and we'll discuss about Tomcat. Tomcat is also one of the web server, and also we call it as application server, guys. Okay, we'll also discuss about what is web server and what is application server. What are the features that are available for web server? All these things in detail we will discuss, guys. Okay, and next, Jenkins. This is for continuous integration, guys. Okay, yeah. Next, Docker. So after that, Kubernetes, guys. Kubernetes is very new, guys, so it is still in evolving stage only. But we'll discuss the theory part, and also we'll discuss about how to install Kubernetes on your laptop. Okay, yeah. So next, Maven, guys. So Maven is a build tool, guys. Once your code is done, so how do you make that code? I mean, source code to executable format. That is part called as build part. So in order to do that build part, we have to use some tools called Maven. So next to Nagios, guys. Nagios is nothing but this is a monetary tool. Okay, and also we'll discuss CloudWatch. This is the one of the services offered by AWS. Okay, next VirtualBox, guys. Okay, so these are the tools we are going to cover as part of our AWS course, guys. Okay, and also apart from this, we will be covering lot of interview questions, and also I will be taking mock-up interviews, guys. Okay, so if anyone, so in order to build that confidence in you, whoever is coming from 1 to 2 years of gap, they don't have any prior IT experience, but if someone wants to claim that experience, so I will help them to get that real-time knowledge. Okay, so we'll discuss all the real-time examples only, guys. Okay, so whatever the things that I am using in my company, the same things will be discussed in the training sessions. Okay, so as today is just a demo session, so this is all about what we are going to discuss as part of our DevOps and AWS course. Okay, so once we started deep dive into it, then we'll have a chance to discuss more about the topics and more about the content, guys. This is all about the introduction part only. What kind of services and tools we are going to learn as part of this course. Okay, so tomorrow onwards, the actual sessions will start, where first we'll start with AWS. Okay, in the AWS, first we'll start with EC2 and S3. So once these are done, then we'll go with some Linux content. Okay, so once the Linux is done, so then we'll start DevOps tools. So if you have any questions, so please feel free to ask me, guys. So I am done with my introduction and the today's demo session. So if you have any questions, so you're most welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, sir. Thank you very much. Thanks for your demo section. We're happy for this. And team, once again, I'm just explaining you the Hyse Academy program. We have two programs here. One is 20,000 rupees, where we are giving 3 months of training program, training, internship, working on live project, certification, and job assistance. We will create your resume and we'll provide you interviews for 5 to 15 companies. If you have more than 80%, for sure you can get the job here itself. And daily you will be having 2 hours of technical training program and 1 hour of interview skills program. It's a 3-hour section a day. Okay, we have morning and evening shifts also. And the other program is 1 lakh, where we are giving it training, internship, working on live project, certification, and 100% job with minimum 2.5 lakhs to 12 lakhs for the freshers. We have a 10 plus years experience trainers for morning and evening shifts, and we have online and offline also. So students, whoever are interested, in the below description in this channel, in the video, You can check out the contact numbers of our counselors and you can call them out. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And take care, everyone. Bye bye. Yes, sir. In the section. Vinay garu.